Dark Souls 3 has been beaten in many ways to make money on YouTube.com, but has it been beaten with only sorceries? Yeah, of course it has. Why did I even bother to check that? But has it been beaten with only a bow? Yes. Yeah, like a lot. What about arrows? And not just bow arrows, but anything labeled as an arrow. This is such a stupid idea. For an arrow only run, the class I recommend is the Sorcerer, because soul arrows count as arrows alongside arrows, and there's nothing else labeled with the word arrow in it. So the first thing to do after being brought back from the River Styx is to send Judex Gundyr to it. Do I need to explain how I murdered Judex Gundyr? No, I don't, because it's an easy boss. And now for Vort of the Boreal Valley. The way to him is easy, so there's no need to waste time explaining it, and Vort is in the building over here, so the fight starts when you enter this point of the area, not the point before it, and not really the side. His mace will bash your skull in at this distance, so be at this distance by walking away at a fast pace, not a slow pace. Being slow means you get hit, and being hit is a bad thing. This move I call the Doggy Woggy Ice. Don't get hit by the mace because it will decrease your health, and when your health be far, close, not good, far, good, very so. With this in mind, you should be able to beat his first phase. For the second phase, make sure you don't die in real life, because when you die in real life you're dead, and when you're heavy soul arrow, 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 heal. If you forget this, I made a guitar song for it, and if you're still struggling, make sure to buy my extended course on how to beat Vort for 5,072 lira. Next is the Undead Settlement, and with no bosses here, all that's noteworthy is meeting Sigurd and getting this neat ring. Now, the Road of Sacrifices. Here, there is another person to meet, who teaches sorceries. This will be useful to get the other two spells this run permits me to use. Yay. And there is a boss here, known as the Crystal Sage, who is surprisingly enough resistant to magic. I never would have guessed. So how resistant? Resistant enough that it was easier for me to kill the Abyss Watchers first, but even with the extra levels, my magic was still weakened as I had not invested anything into getting a good bow. It took about an hour of fighting that I could have potentially accidentally forgotten to record. So after realizing that things resistant to magic are difficult to kill with magic, I invested into getting a decent bow for the deacons, and I chose the composite bow because it's considered good due to this passive ability that gives you a fast shot after rolling. However, this passive ability was near useless to me because it deals half as much damage as a regular shot, and I was too scared of running out of arrows mid-fight to ever actually use it. And with nothing else to do, I moved on to Sigurd. So to initiate the conversation with him, walk closer until the talk prompt appears, then he will start talking, and make sure to listen to what he says. So now for the next boss, Pontiff Sullivan. So because I can't use the Storm Ruler on Yorm, I decided that it would probably be easier to kill Sullivan first, so that I can use the souls from his corpse to buy tons of dark arrows. And I'd say Sullivan is actually easier to beat with ranged attacks, so the fight wasn't a problem. So now for the Profane Capital, there's really nothing special about the way there except for this guy, who you should never ever get hit by. Yeah, you know who I'm talking about. This guy here. If you get hit by him, Osiris will be very disappointed in you. So the first thing to do in the Profaned Capital is to free Sigurd for a Titanite slab. Now, this does mean he will help you in the fight against Yorm, but don't worry about being a casual. He doesn't respawn and usually dies quickly, so it's just a free Titanite slab and free joke about the game's AI being bad. Fuck. Well, on a lighter note, I got the Onislayer Great Bow. That will be useful, right? And now for Aldrich, who... devours small children. Unlike me, I would never do that. And after defeating Aldrich the Devourer of Children, I was teleported to one of the easiest bosses in the game. And that was not sarcasm, it's a statement I will defend to my dying breath. Anyway, so, Lothric Castle, move up, go past dragons, now Dragon Slayer armor. This fight, not particularly difficult on this run, but what is difficult is my refusal to ever go above 20 vigor out of pride, thus making the fight 2 hours. But, after this it's just the Twin Princes and Soul of Cinder left. How bad could that be? So, as a reminder, the Twin Princes fight is set into 2 phases. The first is a one-on-one with Lorien, and that's not a problem. The second, however, is a problem. You see, the person you're trying to kill is Lothric, but to hit him you have to kill Lorien first, then he gets down to revive him, giving you a window to shoot Lothric, who has magic resistance. So I used a fully upgraded Great Bow, which deals 300 damage per hit. The only issue is that there's only enough time for 2 hits. Lothric has 5,799 health, so to down him enough, I have to kill Lorien 10 times. As such, this fight will require a lot of Ashen Estus and skill. Unfortunately, I don't have skill. And now, the only thing left to do to finish this maximum integrity arrow-only run is killing the Soul of Cinder. It's the Soul of Cinder. Do I have to explain anything else? So now that you made it to the end of the video, make sure to subscribe and don't ring the bell, because then you'll be reminded that you subscribed to me, and unsubscribe. Just hit the subscribe button and forget I exist.